Hello and welcome to Retrospection, the podcast where we take an old movie or TV show and decide if it should be given a pat on the back and sent on its way, or punched in the face and dragged off to Arkham Asylum. My name's Paul, and I'm warning you, Dr. Daka will make you regret this.
And I'm Jay, and I have a nice little package for you. You'll find it on the corner of First and Maple.
Ooh, is it more Mego figures?
You wish.
I do wish, actually. Yeah. I remember Father's Day. It was a very empty day.
Well,
So this will be the last of our special guest episodes. Yes, fear not, listener. Colin will be returning very, very soon.
lucky you.
I know, I can't wait. I literally can't wait. But until then, today I'm joined by a long-time collaborator and someone that I share one or two pieces of DNA with. It's James.
Sorry.
What, for the DNA bit?
No, for coming back.
No, you thinking about it, the subject that we're actually going to be talking about today is almost a full circle thing with your very first episode from years ago.
Yeah, thinking about that, it's true, yeah.
So how are you doing? I mean, it's not like I don't see you every day, but,
Wow.
but we'll keep the illusion going for the podcast listeners. How are you doing?
I'm alright.
Any more?
I go out and fight crime every night.
Do you?
Yep, I dress up as a large bat.
I'm glad you said a large bat. All right.
And I fly around with my sidekick over here.
Well. Yeah. This is news to me, but,
Well,
I'll take it. Also, mental illness is a real problem, all right? So,
yeah, maybe I should be the one being dragged to Arkham Asylum.
I think you might be. After this one, you might be.
After this one, yeah.
So, thank you for filling in for Colin.
It's alright. I'm the superior one, so...
Ooh, big words.
Sorry, Colin.
Yeah.
Not that
He'll listen to this.
No, he won't.
Oh, he will. He
Oh,
will.
will he?
So, on this episode, I'm taking full advantage of Colin's absence and we'll be discussing something to do with superheroes.
Ooh, I wonder what it could be.
Well, we'll be talking about episode 1 of the Batman serial from 1943.
That was, what, 200 years ago?
Well, I wasn't born yet. I know it's hard to
Really?
believe. Yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but I
Wow.
wasn't. No. So IMDb says, the very first serial to adapt the comic book character of Batman. In it, Batman is a secret US government agent attempting to defeat the schemes of foreign agent, and I've edited that, Dr. Daka, operating in LA at the height of World War II. So it's fair to say that this is a very different take on the character that we're all familiar with today.
Yeah, I wouldn't typically say that Batman works for the government, or as they say in the serial, Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. I know hasn't he got an what's her name in the 60s one?
Oh, God.
Aunt Judy or whatever she's called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, this is a very different take on Batman. I think there's a lot of reasons for this as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get to that. So the Batman comic was first released in 1940. So yeah, it was, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was 1939.
All right, 1939. Ooh.
The 5th of May, 1939.
I'll fix it in editing. It'll look smooth, all right? It really will. It won't. And so it's kind of strange to think that at the point of this serial, the character had only been around for 3 years. That's a really hard thing to get into your head, isn't it? Because Batman's been around for as long as I've been around.
Well, first off, that's 4, considering the editing. But yeah, no, that is strange, because usually characters don't usually have quite that short of a gap between. I mean, it usually takes. I mean, think of. So I know this off topic, but say someone like Iron Man, who took like what
30 odd years.
Yeah, before he got a full first feature length film.
I think it's testament to how popular this character probably was with kids at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the first of its kind, really. I mean, you had people like the Shadow and the Phantom, but Batman kind of stood out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean, he would have stood out a lot more if they'd have gone with the original Bob Kane idea for the
with
costume.
With his red, what was it, spandex suit,
yeah,
domino mask, and actual bat wings.
Not sure that would have caught on as well.
No.
Although I did like the bat wings in the illustration that I saw. So, do you want to give me the cast list?
Yeah. So this stars Lewis Wilson as Batman, Douglas Croft as Robin, J. Carrol Naish as Dr. Decker, and Shirley Patterson as Linda Page.
And a whole bunch of goons.
Yeah, pretty much.
So these serials were designed to be shown before the main feature back then, and there's so many of them. There's Captain Marvel, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, and my personal favourite is Rocket Man.
Oh, yes.
Yep, where he's got up, down,
Yep.
left, right on his whatever. I was introduced to them as a kid back in the early 80s. I think they were rerun a lot on, I think it might have been Channel 4 at the time. But what about you? I mean, how familiar are you with these kind of serials?
I will admit, before doing this, I had already seen this serial before, and I did enjoy it. I have gone and looked at other stuff like the Captain Marvel one and even the Captain America one, but yeah, they're all kind of, they feel like TV episodes, but made in the 40s.
Which is essentially what they are, really.
Well, yeah, it's just you wouldn't normally show a TV show episode before a film.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah. I mean, they are very of their time.
Well, yes. Yes, very of their time, as we'll get into later.
Yeah. So Batman was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Yeah, important.
Our feelings towards Bob Kane have changed a lot over the years, right?
Yeah, considering he takes,
up until recently.
Yeah, up until Bill Finger finally got the credit he deserved. It was originally just Bob Kane who kind of took the idea. Because, I mean, he created the idea of Batman, but Bill Finger's kind of the person who moulded it into what it is today.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have no bat suit, we'd have no Batmobile, no Batcave, no Robin, if it wasn't for Bill Finger.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. And it's almost become, it's become a joke between me and you whenever we refer to anyone stealing an idea. We use the phrase pulling a Bob Kane, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he is responsible for Batman in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah.
I just think it's the way that he literally crapped all over Bob Kane, all over Bill Finger, is what everyone has a problem with.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that now. I think the first time he got credited on screen was it Batman v Superman, the Snyder movie.
I think it was.
So we do have Alfred in this. He first appeared in the Batman comic a few months prior to this serial's release, and it's generally thought that the writers of the serial created him and then had him placed into the comics to match up with the serial, which I thought was interesting. Although his original surname in the comic was Beagle, apparently.
Yes.
And that wasn't changed until 1969.
No. This is also, I saw this as well online, this is the first appearance of Skinny Alfred as well.
Yeah, he was a little chubby fat guy, wasn't he?
Originally. He was a miserable chubby fat guy who used to drive them around everywhere.
Yep, really, in this first episode at least, because we're only talking about the first episode, we see him a couple of times driving the car, and he's painfully English.
Oh yes,
but we don't know too much about him.
No.
You say you've seen all of it though? Does that change? Does he have more to do?
Not really. No, he kind of just stays like as a mini side character who kind of just appears when Bruce mentions his name.
He just bottles.
Yeah, well done.
You can have that one. Although I stole it from Clue. Lewis Wilson is still the youngest actor to play Batman, and this blew my mind when I read this. He was 23 at the time. He must have had a hard paper round, this guy.
Yeah.
He looks about 40.
But I'll tell you what, Douglas Croft, who plays Robin, looks considerably older than him.
Yeah, and he's 16 apparently. Yeah. I mean, what was going on? There was a war on, so yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't think it was the easiest of times, But let's just say that there are, let's get it out of the way, and it's going to come up later, but there are numerous racial slurs used in this serial, although they were apparently edited out of the original home video release many years later.
I'm sure they were.
But I think the versions that we watched it on YouTube, although I do actually own a DVD of it. I'd be interested to know which version of it that is. But the version on YouTube has it all put back.
Yep, definitely.
Definitely.
And I don't think there's any changing the, let's just say, the costume of some of the characters.
There isn't. No. We'll get to that. The original idea, however, was to have the Joker be Batman's nemesis in this serial, and he would have been played again by J. Carrol Naish. But things were changed to encourage patriotism because there was a war on.
No, of course.
So that's why we've got this rather than the Joker. But I would have liked to have seen that. And you
Yeah.
can see elements of leftovers from when the Joker was part of the script because Dacre's lure is in a carnival.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's all Joker
And plus,
stuff.
seeing J. Carrol Naish, seeing pictures of him out of costume, I can kind of see him as a Joker in many ways.
Definitely, yeah.
He has that very Joker look to him with the kind of, the slick back hair. He's got kind of that villainous look to him. I think he would have played a good Joker.
So there are lots of elements that we normally associate with Batman that are missing in this. Most notable is the Batmobile, because in this, he just drives a car.
Yeah. I even written down in my notes for later that the Batmobile looks awfully normal.
It's just a car.
Yeah. Which, mind you, though, originally it was just a car in the comics.
Yeah, he just drives around.
He just drove a red car.
Yeah, yeah. But the Batmobile at this point in 43, I think, actually had become part of the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't obviously the Batmobile that you see today.
They haven't got the money to kit out a car for this.
Well, I don't know. You could just stick some little wings on the back and...
Oh, come on. Did you see the bats? We'll get to the bats.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So, shall we crack on to the nondescript automobile, old chum? So we open with the old Columbia logo and the credits over I've got to say, it's a great looking bat symbol. It's very of its time, but it kind of would also work today, I think, this bat symbol.
Yeah, it's got that, what's the word?
It's got the face.
Yeah.
That I associate with comics from the 70s as well. And we get the title of episode 1, or chapter 1 as it's called, The Electrical Brain. Aren't all brains kind of electrical?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I thought so. We get a narration explaining Wayne Manor, although it's not called Wayne Manor, it just refers to it as a massive mansion or something, doesn't it? And exactly who Batman is. And we get a first glimpse of the character. And it's an image that any comic book fan would recognise. It's Batman sat at his desk in the Batcave doing some bat brooding, right?
I mean, to go on to the costume a little bit, it's probably, I'd say, the most comics accurate costume. Because, I mean, you couldn't really deviate much from it, because there wasn't really much you could do back then. No,
it suspiciously sometimes looks like it's made out of wool. But,
that is true, yeah.
But because it's a bit thick, isn't it?
Plus, the cowl and the floppy ears aren't exactly fitting.
That's the problem that it has mostly, isn't it? Is the cowl, because the ears are a bit floppy, and sometimes it doesn't look like the eye holes line up with his eyes very well.
They kind of droop down a little bit at the sides.
So it's kind of like average cosplay, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you would see today.
And Robin doesn't really wear a domino mask. It kind of looks like one of those like masquerade.
It is, yeah.
Masks.
It's very big.
Yeah.
As well. It might as well have one that's covering the whole of his face.
Yeah, pretty.
Now, this narration is 100% serious, right? But Batman 66 just has ruined my palate for it, I think, because it just sounds tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
And very earnest as well.
And it's got that same kind of voice to it as well. The, Batman sitting in the Batcave doing...
Bat stuff.
Yeah.
I did like the way when he said, Batman. Yes, Batman.
Yeah, as if he's a real person.
It's almost like he's look, what do you mean Batman? There's nothing funny about Batman. He's Batman, look at him.
Yeah.
He's doing bat stuff. And he also has some bats flying around in the Batcave.
Yes, some bats flying around the Batcave.
It reminded me of...
Dracula.
Of Hammer movies, yeah. Very much. So we see his teammate show up, Robin, and we get like a montage of him, they're smashing into rooms, they punch out some bad guys. And the narrator goes on to tell us that they represent American youth who love their country and are glad to fight for it.
Yeah, I wonder what time period this was in.
Well, it's the fact that he said American youth.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know that the guy playing Batman was 23, as I say, you'd think he was 45.
Yeah.
So it's a bit strange, and it's a bit on the nose as well. But I guess, as I say, there was a war on, and they want people to be all patriotic.
Well, so these montage bits of Batman and Robin flying into buildings and punching people, let's just say there was no health and safety in the 40s, considering he literally leaps through the window.
I'm going to talk about the fight scenes in a minute, because they're crazy, aren't they?
Yeah.
It did remind me again. I mean, you've got to say that the creators of 60s
Yeah,
Batman
I think they
looked
took
at
a lot
this.
of influence from this because the
Definitely.
fight scenes definitely have
Yeah.
that
And
feel to it.
them smashing through the windows and things like that.
It's just missing the massive pow
Yeah.
bits.
So the montage carries on, and we see them leaping around from car to car in one point, and a little bit more fighting. And as you said about the fighting, this is what I love about these old serials, is that all the fight scenes look so unchoreographed.
Yeah.
They just look like a group of people just going at each other, don't they?
They just fling themselves. It's like as if a kid had like a bunch of action figures and then just kind of like threw them at each other and pretended to punch them. But I mean, there are bits where you can clearly see that their punches do not connect to either of their faces.
There are, but sometimes they do look like they hit each other. That's the strange thing about it. I mean, they must have had some kind of plan, like some kind of choreography. But it doesn't look like it.
They probably said, you jump over to this guy, punch him, throw him back, jump to the next guy, and do the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah. But I think it looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a real
fight. Yeah.
That isn't choreographed.
It looks like a fight in a school playground, as you would be aware of.
Yeah.
So Batman calls Captain Arnold, who is, I suppose, our Commissioner Gordon stand-in in this. Why they didn't use Commissioner Gordon, I don't know.
I don't know, because I was going to bring this up later, but I think there's another character they call Dr. Gordon later on.
There's a few doctors in it.
Yeah, but I vividly remember someone mentioning the name Dr. Gordon, so I was like...
If there is a Dr. Gordon, maybe that's why they changed this to Captain Arnold.
Yeah.
But he calls up Captain Arnold and he tells him that he's wrapped up some bad guys for him. And so Batman really is working for the man in this, isn't he? It's kind of weird because Batman's turned now into this... We know him as this kind of like anti-hero, anti-establishment character, hasn't he? But I suppose back then he was honest. And even in the 60s, he was a deputised law enforcement officer, wasn't he?
I mean, I guess you could say for the 40s, they kind of made a lot of superheroes. You know, these super... I mean, look at people like, obviously Superman and stuff, but even characters like Batman and stuff, they were awfully patriotic back then and like super, pro.
They had to be though, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Batman ties up the bad guys, and one of them pretty much says to him, "Oh, you just wait until Dr. Dacre hears about this."
Yeah, as if he's a little kid saying, "Oh, wait until my dad hears about this," or whatever.
What made me laugh is that during the opening narration, they talk about how Batman strikes fear into the heart of criminals.
Yeah.
They don't look particularly frightened of him, do they? Standing there in broad daylight with his floppy...
They must hide it well, because although they did very easily give up who their boss was. So,
they did. Yeah. So in many ways, you could either say that Batman's interrogation tactics...
was merely staring at them.
But it worked. He didn't have to threaten them or threaten to squash their face under a wheel of a car or anything.
Or throw them off a building.
No, exactly. Should Batman and Robin really be whipping off their masks in the car afterwards on the way home?
Yeah, not really. Because I was thinking, do they get changed in the car? Who drives the car? Because you can clearly see Batman get into the driver's seat and as he's taking off his costume. So who's driving the car? Is Robin got his hands on the pedals or something?
Maybe he's so good that he can drive with his knees.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it's America, so it's not a shift, so it's probably just an automatic. So Interestingly, Batman seems to have branded the two goons with a bat symbol on their foreheads.
Yeah, this feels awfully Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I wonder whether that Snyder was...
I mean, he doesn't brand them with
No, but the mark's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the branding in
Stickers.
Batman v Superman is probably Snyder's more graphic interpretation of this.
Come on, you're giving him too much credit. You think he's seen these?
Probably not. No. He's never read a comic, has he?
Well, no.
He's flicked through one.
He's flicked through a comic and looked at panels.
Mm-hmm. Bruce and Dick go to see Linda Page, and here Bruce plays up his Playboy image a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lewis Wilson does very good as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I liked his portrayal of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
It's kind of lighter in tone, but it suits the tone of this, doesn't it? And he is instantly recognisable as the character of Bruce Wayne, I think. It reminded me a lot of the animated series.
Yeah.
The
way he kind of the way Kevin Conroy does
Bruce.
plays him.
Mm. And the look as well with the suits of the 40s, where there's very squirt around and angular, you know. On the street, we get a cameo, don't we?
Yes, we get a newspaper boy who is played by our infamous Bob Kane, and
he looks about 12.
Yeah, he doesn't look very old.
What's going on with the ages in 1940s?
I didn't recognise him at first until I went on IMDb and looked up some facts for this, and I saw that he played the newspaper boy, and I was like, what? I had to literally skim back and find that bit, and I looked at him for a good 2 minutes or so, and went, yeah, it is him.
Did you not see the deleted scene where he took his shirt off and underneath he had the T-shirt where it said Batman created by Bob Kane under it?
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah. You need to go back and watch that. Yeah. Some goons abduct a Marty Warren, who is Linda's uncle, apparently, and Bruce, Linda, and Dick give chase in their car with Alfred driving.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, does Dick go everywhere with them? Because I mean, Bruce is kind of on a date here, and Dick's kind of just third wheeling them the whole time.
Well, he's responsible for him, isn't he?
Well, that is true.
He's
but could he not have Alfred look after him while he's going on a date or something?
Alfred can't be bothered with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's annoying, isn't he?
Well, that is true.
Yeah, he's exceptionally annoying as a character anyway, I find, Dick. He's better when he's Nightwing in the comics. But yeah, I mean, Alfred's got things to do.
What, stand around the manor?
Yeah, drive around.
Drive around, yeah.
The bad guys, they use I like this bit, they use a spray gadget on their car and it repaints the car as it's driving.
Yeah, and they have the license plate flip as well.
Yeah, very Bondy.
Yeah.
30 odd years before that, yeah. We then cut to Little Tokyo. Now, I don't know whether Little Tokyo is a
actual place in Gotham.
Yeah, I think it's meant to. It's like a template of Chinatown and places like that.
So I'm kind of concerned how you spelled Tokyo there.
Yeah, yeah. And the narrator then throws in some questionable language, which I won't repeat here.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. There was a war on, but it kind of hits pretty hard today when you hear it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of hits you
hard.
What? You kind of do a double take. You go. It's because I was writing notes as the scene was playing, and I heard it, and I went, "What?"
Yeah, I actually rewound it just to make sure I heard what I'd heard. I think it would be a shame if. No, it isn't right. I think it would be a shame if this kind of stuff put you off from watching this, because I think you have to remember the context of what was going on in the world when this happened. It isn't right, but things were different back then.
But back then, it didn't really matter because they were the enemy.
They were the enemy, and of course, things are different now. But I think it would be a shame if you completely threw this out because of all this.
Yeah.
The goons take Uncle Warren to meet Dr. Daka. Is it Daka or how do they pronounce it?
I think they pronounce it Daka, but it's spelled Dakar.
Let's say Daka.
Yeah.
He's in his carnival-based hideout, which is obviously a leftover, as we said, from the Joker parts of the original script.
Mm-hmm.
And Daka comes with more problems, let's just say, because he's meant to be Asian.
Yeah, meant to be Asian.
Yeah.
Let's just say he took some of the leftover pills from You Only Live Twice.
Yes, there is a bit of
he
borrowed
borrowed some of the makeup from them.
But he's representing the Axis powers, in particular one particular Axis power.
Mm-hmm.
And let's leave it there and not get involved, because best to step away. He wants Warren to work with his cabal to create his new world order, which is going to pop up in the latest Captain America movie, apparently, as well.
That was the original title.
Oh, they've changed it now.
They've changed it. Brave New World.
Yeah. Too delicate, too dangerous. But Warren says that he is a true American, and he tells him to go do one, or words to that effect.
Yep.
But it's made plain to him that if he doesn't agree, then he'll turn him into a zombie. Yes, a zombie.
Yeah, this is a very comic booky plot.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I'm fine with it though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take away from it.
No.
It just feels like an issue of a comic book.
It's a little bit hard to take when they actually use the word zombie, because it just feels so. Because I suppose in the 1940s, a zombie was something completely different to what we got, because we haven't even had George Romero's Night of the Living Dead at this point.
This is true.
So I think all we'd had was something like White Zombie, which was a Bela Lugosi movie at that point, which is very different than Romero's idea of a zombie. So it just kind of feels a bit... took me out of it for a second using the word zombie. But it's fine. Warren still says no, and he's taken to Dacre's lab, which apparently some of the equipment in this lab were used in Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, right.
And then also in Young Frankenstein in 1974 as well. So some of this stuff was still knocking around all those years later.
They must have kept it somewhere.
Well, I would imagine that they're in the Universal vaults.
Probably.
And things like that. Dacre gives Warren a drug and then gives him a slap. And then he spills his guts.
Yeah, he's not very... he doesn't even resist.
Well, he has drugged him.
Well, this is true.
You know. Even when he slapped him. And he didn't just slap him once. He slapped him a few times as well.
Yeah.
And it was a proper slap.
He gave him the old backhand.
He did.
Yeah.
Dacre needs to steal... Is it radium or irradium?
I think it's irradium.
Okay, and he's going to use it in his new secret weapon, which is a laser weapon gun thing that he's built.
I was going to say, this gun kind of reminds me of the liquidization gun in the Batman the movie, the Adam West one.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely. And what it does is, because he demonstrates it, and it turns... Is it supposed to be metal, that thing that he brings out? Or it's like a slab, isn't it, of something?
I think it's like stone or something.
And it just turns it into like crumbly dust, sand thing, doesn't it? Back at Linda's office, they still haven't heard from Uncle Warren. And the goons and a zombie go to steal the irradium. And wouldn't you know it, it's right where Linda, Bruce and Dick are at.
How convenient.
It is indeed. Bruce and Dick see them across the road. Literally see them across the road.
Yep.
And they go and change into their costumes in the car, I presume.
Yeah.
They just put the roof of the car up and Alfred's in the front, not looking in the mirror.
Nope.
No? You're saying, no.
Yep.
Turn your back, Alfred.
I'm getting a word.
Hey, Beagle. So now's a good time, as you said, the costumes. Yeah. I like them.
Yeah, they do grow on you after a while.
They do. They look a bit silly by today's standards, but for a first go-round of trying to adapt these characters into live action, they're not bad.
They're close enough.
Yeah, we talked about the shortcomings already, but I like them. I like them. The goons get disturbed, and the zombie attacks a guy as the goons steal the radium, or irradium, that seems to be just kept in a safe in the wall. Is that all right then, is it?
Yeah.
Is it lead line, this safe? Is it, no suits? No
funny enough, they
gear?
know exactly where it is as well. Almost as if, like, they've been there before.
Well, Dr. Dacre is in his lair and he's watching everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got, like...
Somehow.
Yeah, he's got, like, invisible cameras conveniently where the actual camera is when they were shooting.
Isn't it supposed to be something that he's implanted into the zombie's eyes or something?
But then we don't see anyone stood there. You're thinking about it.
Don't think about it. Yeah. Meanwhile, Batman and Robin climb down the side of the building, and this again reminded me a lot of 60s Batman. They then smash through a window and they give chase to the goons. The goons use their laser weapon and fire it at Batman and Robin. And by this point, I'm looking at the time, and there's literally like about 2 minutes left of this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, surely we're building towards because everything always ends on a cliffhanger. But I can't see where the cliffhanger is going to be. I actually thought it was going to be when Batman and Robin just duck down behind a chimney and then they blow the chimney up. But somehow they get away up from that. They have a fight on the rooftop while Linda calls for help from the police. And Batman looks to be in a tight squeeze.
Yeah,
he's getting wailed on here, isn't he?
Yeah, this is very 60s, where they'd always put him in a death trap at the end of an episode.
No giant typewriters though in this one.
Or like strapped to a machine that drags them along to their sudden doom. Yeah, I miss those things. Should bring those back. Matt Reeves Batman 2. Got to have a big giant... Brave and the Bold.
Oh, big giant chopping board. Can you imagine that? That'd be great. Guillotine. One of those paper guillotines built 3 times the size. That'd be amazing. And Dr. Dacre, as we said, he's watching everything on his somehow closed circuit TV. Is the
Yeah.
zombie standing? I think actually the zombie's throwing himself off the edge of the roof for some bizarre reason, but
Yeah.
he's still watching
It's,
what's going on.
some heavy stuff for a kids serial.
It is.
Some casual suicide here.
It is, yeah, it's fine.
You know, I
It's
get
fine.
promoting suicide.
It was the
all right.
40s. It was
fun,
the 40s.
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah, of course. And then the goons throw Batman over the edge of the roof and he falls to his doom, seemingly. Will he escape? Find out in Chapter 2, which we aren't reviewing.
Same Bat Cinema, same Bat time.
And that is the end of The Batman, Episode 1 from 1943. So, James, what did you think of Batman?
Well, it was something. It's
You can say about anything.
yeah.
I took a dump earlier. That was something.
It's a good first attempt for adapting a comic book. I will say though, there's lack of gadgets in this from both Batman and Robin, but you could say that that's because of budget restraints or stuff they couldn't do.
No, you've watched the whole of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do the gadgets show? There must be some gadgets somewhere.
I think the most we ever get is a radio and a rope.
Right. Okay.
So,
Fair
which
enough.
I mean, they do use the rope in this.
Well, there was a war on rationing and all that, you know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He had to deliver out his batarangs to some of the soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine that? On the front line.
On the front lines, he's got a box. He's just going, "Yep, take your batarangs." There you go.
Oh, not the bat shark repellent. You can't have that one. Mind you, they're in a desert, so it's not going to be much
or
use, though,
unless
is it?
storming Normandy.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, the plot obviously thickens later on,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, as you can guess, Batman doesn't meet his demise in the first episode.
That would be a shock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine that. The Batman dies in episode 1. He's not in the rest of it. Just Robin on his own.
Yeah,
Wondering
but they still call it Batman.
Just wait for Alfred to make his tea.
Yep. But yeah, I'd say it was
A hit.
a hit.
Oh, that was the word you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
You must have liked it because you went on and watched the whole thing.
Hmm.
You know, I can see some people today would have problems with this. Whether it's the dodgy racial stuff or even like the clipped way that the actors deliver their lines. I mean, it's very 1940s. Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying?
And
See?
plus, a big thing for people nowadays is it's in black and white.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people get turned off by that.
Yeah, I mean, you're
It doesn't matter.
you're an anomaly, aren't you?
Yeah. I break the cycle.
You do.
I mean, I've seen Nosferatu, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's like nothing can get any more thingy than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't count Phantom of the Opera, which you've seen, because there is a little bit of colour in that. So
Yeah,
at one
but
point.
it's still silent.
It is. And the costumes, they look slightly off from what people would be used to today.
Yeah.
But it would be a shame if that put people off this. And you have to remember that this was 1943, at the height of World War II, and Batman had only been around for 4 years. See, I edited that. You see that?
Yeah, well done.
And I have to say, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It's like a stripped back but fairly comics accurate iteration of Batman.
As I said, it feels like an issue
It
of
does.
a comic book.
Of that era as well.
Of that era.
I like the actors, particularly Batman. I thought that he was very good. And I do like the costumes.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of these old serials, and I'm definitely going to give this some more time. I might finish it off.
Yeah, no, you should. It gets better. Although, in this pilot, Robin doesn't really have much to do. He kind of just stands there and fights people. But he does have, or at least as I can remember, he does have some more to do.
They do use them a little bit more then. Oh, that's good. I'll look forward to that then. But I have to say that Batman 66 must have looked at this a lot before going forward.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It's its DNA is all over Batman 66. But they took it and spinned it a little bit, didn't they?
I mean, this is definitely...
Spun it?
Yeah.
Lost the ability to use proper English.
Yeah. This is definitely... I mean, they're two different eras, remember. This is like golden... This is like a golden age comic.
Yeah.
Whereas 66 Batman is like silver age.
Yeah, definitely.
Style.
Definitely. But yeah, it's a hit for me.
Yeah. No, I'd say it was a hit as well.
Excellent. So that is it for this episode of Retrospection. Just a short one this week because it is only a 25-minute serial.
This is true, yeah.
But somehow we did manage to talk for over half an hour, so that's good. thank you for listening. A big thank you to James for once again helping us out.
That's all right.
You can come back
Oh, thank you.
eventually.
Also, my promotion, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're no longer part of Junior Retrospection. You're now part of the main show.
I'm part of the big boys now.
Yeah, you've got a promotion. It doesn't come with extra money though, so you should know that. All right.
What do you mean extra money? I don't get any money from this.
And thank you to all our Patreon supporters. And to all our listeners, next time, normal service will be resumed. Colin will return. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.